iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.
Okay, this is sort of a funny story. I had just had surgery 2 days before for endometriosis. So I was on my couch with a heating pad, really with low expectations, but was very excited to cheer on the show for whatever may come our way. And I was sitting next to my husband, and then I saw my name on the television, and I couldn't physically react because I was in so much pain, but he started crying, which was so sweet. And yeah, we had like a very weird sort of silent reaction because of my physical state, but it was just so thrilling. And to see Canute and Sanaz and Marjan and Marsha also nominated was just a dream. Yeah, this is my Broadway debut. So to get any kind of attention and accolades for a play that closed 2.5 months ago, but clearly stayed in like the hearts and the memories of the Tony nominating committee, it really speaks to, I think, what a beautiful, poignant, timely play this is. And all I've ever wanted was to be part of the theater community. And, you know, awards don't matter, but it's really humbling, and it just frankly feels good to be honored by your peers and to be, you know, in rooms with these incredible artists who are also doing this thing that we all love, theater. What surprised me the most? There is sort of, you know, I've done a lot of off-Broadway, and there's a lot more press, which is both exciting and sort of like a second job, you know? I know a lot of Tony nominees are still doing their shows right this moment. So I'm in some ways lucky that I don't have a show to run to tonight. I'm gonna go see a show tonight. So that was sort of a surprising element, but also it was just, again, so wonderful to have more eyes on the show, which just meant that more people could see it. We were really able to grow as a cast, and we had the strange privilege of 3 years between our off-Broadway and Broadway debuts, and that really meant that the play was able to be sort of more marinated, but us as people, we just had a very intimate, familial relationship, which meant that, you know, we could fight and sort of get over it and laugh together, and really, I think what was most special about it is that everybody on that stage and off knew that this was a singular experience that we were having, and I think we all did a really good job of showing up for it and taking time to appreciate, to be grateful, and to not miss this extraordinary moment of this extraordinary play. Yeah, you know, there's never been a play about Iranians on Broadway, and I think that English, as well as a lot of plays actually this Broadway season, tell us that we should and can be seeing stories about people that are different than us. And it's not just diversity for diversity's sake, but that we grow as humans. Our empathy, our horizons grow when we see these stories. And you know, it's a very funny. It's not a pedagogical play. Like, it's not trying to teach you something. It's also a delightful story about human beings who happen to be in Iran. You know, I started in the theater, so theater will always be my first love. I love the community that you get to have in a rehearsal room. You don't usually get that time on television. And so I think for that reason, theater kind of edges out television, unless, again, you're in the rare opportunity where you get to have a little bit of time. And I did get to do that when I was in a long-running show, where you eventually kind of get that same family sense, which is the best. The first Broadway show, I'm not sure, but what's in my memory is in Columbus, Ohio, being taken to see Phantom of the Opera. And it blew my mind. It like totally blows your mind as a 8-year-old or whatever it was. Yeah. Well, I'm dying to see Purpose, which is what I'm seeing tonight. I just went and stood in the rush line because Broadway tickets are expensive. Yeah, Elham is both the toughest and most rewarding character that I've ever played. She's so unapologetic in fighting for what she wants. And that results in some people not liking her, and Tala's sense on stage sometimes feeling like, oh, the audience doesn't like me, and that was hard. And that was something that it was part of my growth and journey working on this part, and it's so freeing. It's so freeing to release yourself of that. Audra McDonald had this beautiful, I think, Instagram video where she talked about this much more eloquently. But we don't owe them being liked. We owe maybe to have them understand the character a little bit more. So that was sort of my North Star with Elham, and I love her, and I think a lot of people did relate to her and hopefully understand her a little bit. I would play a lot of Persian pop music. Gugush was a favorite. She's just like a legend amongst Iranians. Everyone knows her. And I had a lot of photos of my family in my dressing room, and I would always make sure to sort of take a moment right before I went on stage to sort of convene with them. I'm just trying to enjoy it and not miss it. And there's a lot of noise around this time of year, and it's wonderful and exciting. And I have to remind myself, feel your feet on the ground, take a deep breath. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime first for you. So I'm mostly just looking forward to celebrating with the cast and crew and creative team of English, and just kind of marveling at the journey that we've all come on together. It's incredible. Nature, yeah, literally, like touch grass, feel dirt, garden, touch flowers, cut flower, I find that to be a really helpful touchstone. You're a Tony nominee when they give you that cute little pin and you almost lose it multiple times. I think the loveliest thing was the first call I took was with Sanaz, who wrote English, and Marjan, who's also nominated in this category, and we FaceTimed, and we were all in total shock and disarray, and it was really special.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.